forward by Tony Blair. Tony Blair and the warmongers should be in front of the Hague, charged with war crimes. Come and join the talking, the Chilcot Justice Now.
Okay, we're here really to campaign about the Chilcot inquiry. After 7 years, it's clear in the detail of Chilcot that Tony Blair lied and misled us to war. A war that basically was for oil, a war that him and George Bush organised from 2001 onwards.
It's been proven that it was unfair, it shouldn't have happened, and Blair needs to be held responsible for it. Like, if we let him get away with it, then we're saying the murder of hundreds of thousands of people is all right.
Well, we're pleased that the Chilcot inquiry has happened, but there are still politicians willing to make excuses for what they did, and the Chilcot inquiry won't send Blair to trial, and that really has to happen. I think that military families are consulting lawyers about actually suing Blair, which is a good thing. But when you do something so grave as invade a country and kill hundreds of thousands and destroy infrastructure, you can't claim that somehow you did that in good faith. It's just not on.
Huge amount of money was spent going to war, bombing another country in the name of something that was actually a lie. And for us, we're saying, one, war doesn't answer the problems of the Middle East, of any area, frankly, but also the lives lost, the money spent could all have been prevented, and Chilcot really exposed that. We want money to be spent on education, on public services, on welfare, all the things that make British society help people. The Iraq War was the exact opposite of that.
Mainly because I'm totally against war, and Blair got away with everything, which doesn't make sense to me. It's totally unjust. It's total injustice. And at the end of the day, there's not enough people here, in my opinion, really. There should be more people out here campaigning. And there's a lot of young people who don't. Well, they're quite happy to sit behind keyboards, but not happy to get up off a chair. And I'll be honest, this is the second time I've ever come out as an activist, and it feels really good. It's really liberating. I think a lot more people should do it.
I think the general public's response is very passive because it didn't happen in our country. If hundreds of thousands of people had died in this country at the hands of Tony Blair, then there'd be riots on the streets, but nobody really seems that bothered.
I mean, I think the disrepute in the Conservative Party and the Labour Party has slightly overshadowed what is a massive, massive moment for the UK. You know, we've been looking for some kind of awareness of what Tony Blair actually did when he decided to bomb Iraq, and now we've got something that we can kind of push forward with that. I think we really need to bring this back onto the agenda, which is partly why we're out today, and really I think we should be pressing for Tony Blair to be tried for war crimes.
Clearly there were no weapons of mass destruction. They knew that. They had senior leaders in the Iraqi army telling them that everything had been destroyed years before. As well as this misinformation, you have to say that 1 million people die, 3 million people leave the country. It's in a terrible mess. There's more people dying now in single terrorist acts in Baghdad than all the British soldiers that died in the war. So that's why we're here. We hope that our politicians and the people in power start taking notice of ordinary people.
I'll be honest, many civilians, innocent people shouldn't have to die, and also soldiers shouldn't be sent to war over something that wasn't even there in the first place. It's totally ridiculous. It's just the people involved. The government, the figureheads, don't care about them. It's the people who really matter.
Many people protested against the Iraq War, and yet their views weren't heard, and they've now been vindicated in their arguments that said that the Iraq War was unjust, illegal, and an absolute decimation on Iraq.
When you want justice, you fight for it. It takes a lifetime for many people. For example, the Hillsborough inquiry. Now we have the Orgreave inquiry. And really, it's about power and powerlessness. And to get empowered, you get a collective and you make a noise. And that's what we're doing today. But today we're doing it with art, which has brought many, many young people, which is wonderful. Because a lot of us are getting old, and we need young people to get highly politicised.
I wish I knew more about Tony Blair and UK politics, but I think that It was welcomed with open arms, unfortunately. I think the thinking in America was they were attacked at home, and from there, that's enough reason to ignore everything else, ignore kind of the humanity aspect of things, and to just go straight into a war with a country that people knew virtually nothing about.
If we hadn't have intervened in Iraq in the first place, then the power vacuum that allowed ISIS to rise up would never have been created. So, you know, a lot of what we're dealing with today is down to Tony Blair's decisions years and years ago. And I think we like to look at these wars in isolation, but if we'd have dealt with things properly in the first place and tried to look for peaceful resolutions, then we might not be having to deal with the issues that we are today.